You know, I thought when I got up there, it's a waterway.
Yeah.
Not. There's the ball,
Yeah.
and here's the tree.
Yeah, that don't take much, huh?
And all that water comes over here. I was surprised, you know.
Yeah.
I thought it would be bigger.
Raging, yeah. You thought it'd be like a rapid almost.
Yeah, it's not.
No,
It's just a little stream that makes that big waterfall. To me, that's something.
that's going to be slippery as all get out there.
Now, last time I didn't cross it. I turned around and came back. I'm all right.
All right.
Right,
I know.
That's what surprised me. This
Does that,
looks
yeah.
a lot bigger coming over.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. That's all there was to it. See?
Yeah.
It goes, it puddles, and that little outlet and spreads out all that water.
Yeah. What a wild. Yeah, no one would believe it's this slow up here.
No.
Nobody didn't take the time to walk up here to see it either.
No, nobody's up there, I don't think. So I thought, now.
But I didn't even know that till today, so.
Yeah, well, you see.
Yeah.
And that must be about where it starts falling.
Yeah.
Just goes like that, but then it, you know, it gets bigger and goes down in through the rocks. That's surprising.
Yeah.
So I thought you'd be surprised too.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Now, actually, we can go right back the same way if we want to.
Yeah.
There's really nothing down there to see. It's just a road.
Yeah.
I thought it's not like you're missing anything by going down there. We can walk up here. It's just a road.
Yeah.
If you took the road, you'd come out somewhere. Of course, I don't know where you'd come out.
Right. But I think there's like an intersection up here or something where it goes to the main trail, but then it also goes somewhere else. I'm not sure. Because I was trying to look at the map online. They have the maps of all the area. But there's a lot of retired trails.
See, there's your pump station.
Yeah.
Now that's where I came out. I came around and came up and came out to there.
Yeah, but that was a lot more work. I know that.
Well, it's not near as steep.
Yeah.
It's further, but not near as steep. So I found out there is a short way to get up there. Well, maybe we'll go the other way back. It's just a longer walk, but it's flatter ground. I'll show you. We can go back this way unless you want to go.
Oh, no, this is fine. Yeah.
And I don't know how far that goes before it comes out somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to keep walking.
Yeah.
Besides, if I come out somewhere I didn't know I was at it, I had to come all the way back.
Yeah.
And we see now here we're at the end of this. You'll see where you actually run out of rock. And then you're in this way. It's a real slow decline, but a long walk coming up.
You know how that thing got us directions to Greenville? That turn-by-turn thing? That turn-by-turn, that GPS that got us directions to Greenville. It told us on how to get there. They have one for parks now. So the main reason why people want that is because once you get off of park property onto someone's private property, you might end up with a 12-gauge haircut. You don't want that. So this app tells you how to stay in the boundaries of the park. Yeah. Because some parks, you know, you go out to Yosemite and then you start walking on someone's property, you're kind of asking for it. You know what I mean? You're walking, trespassing. So what this one app I seen does is it gives you all the boundaries.
That'd be shorter, but you got to go through all those valleys.
Yeah.
So we can get under that tree and come out.
But it's also is used for hunting. So if you have permission on this one person's property, you type the landowner's name in there, and it tells you where the boundaries are when you're hunting on their property. That way you don't go on someone else's property, because hunting on someone else's property, even if it's by accident, is a felony.
Well, Joseph was hunting one time out in Montana.
Yeah.
And he'd been in there before. It was public hunting ground.
Right.
But he went further up than he had before.
Yeah.
And he still thought he was on the government property.
Right.
But there wasn't any signs to tell him different.
Yeah, that's why this app come out, so people know.
But anyway, he got up in there and he heard a guy on a four-wheeler. And here comes some guy up to him. He says, "What are you doing on my land?" "It's in your land." He says, "I come up here all the time. And right down there it says forest area hunting." "Well, you're out of it now." He says, "Well, I don't know. I never knew. There's no signs or nothing."
Yeah.
"Well," he says, "well, you're on my land." He says, "All right, I'll leave." "Nope, I'm calling up the game warden. I'll put you under arrest." He said, "You're crazy, man. You're downright crazy."
Yeah. Well, that's what they'll do to you. That's why they came up with this app that's just like that GPS that got us to Pennsylvania. It lets you know when you're crossing into someone's land.
Anyway.
I think that's useful, but...
Anyway, so Joseph said, Joseph says, "All right, I can't stay long because I got to go. But if the game warden gets here in a real short time, I'll talk to him and tell him what happened. You think you can just run me to jail or something?"
Yeah.
You know, he was mad at the guy. He just thought he could do anything.
Yeah.
He says, "I got a short amount of time, and that's how much time I'll wait. If he ain't here then, I'll see you later."
Yeah.
But Joseph was kind of mad too, and he was going to hear what the game warden said, if he even saw him.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here we can go this way. So anyway, they get to be a little, and game warden came up. He had a four-wheel, so he knew how to get up there.
Yeah.
But he heard him coming. He thought, well, okay, he's coming, so I'll just wait. So game warden came up. Now, game warden was completely different. He wasn't stuff.
Yeah.
But this man, oh, he was mad. "He's on my land. I want him arrested and go to jail." The game warden says, "Just slow down, mister.
Yeah.
Let's find out what happened." So he said, he asked Joseph's name. He said, "Joseph." He says, "Well, Joseph, what are you doing up here, and how did you get up here?" So he told him. He says, "I come in down here." He says, "Public hunting." He says, "I've been all up through here, but I never come up quite this far."
Yeah.
And the game warden said, "Well," and Joseph says, "I never saw any signs. Tell me." He says, "Well, Joseph," he says, "there aren't any signs. But you have crossed on this man's land." He says, "Well, I did it not knowing what I was doing." He said, "I understand that." So he said to the man, he says, "What do you think?" He says, "I want charges pressed." He was an idiot.
Yeah.
He says, "Well, sir, he told me he didn't see any signs. So he accidentally came on your land. If he said there was a sign and he saw it and came, he'd be going to jail right now. But there was nothing
posted.
There's nothing to tell him he was off our hunting and on your land, so therefore I'm going to do nothing. Joseph, you take off. Don't you ever come up this far again."
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, I never will." And he apologized to the man. He was so mad that he wasn't going to arrest him.
Well, all he had to do was post up no trespassing, no hunting, and then that would have been fine, you know. But he didn't do that, so it wouldn't hold up in court.
So the ranger told Joseph, "Don't ever come up here."
Yeah.
And Joseph said, "Well, I won't." The man didn't have any signs posted, or there was no-
Yeah, that's why I think that was a brilliant idea. Just like the GPS that took us to Pennsylvania, have an app to let you know where the public hunting land.
Now, I'll tell you what we can do.
Yeah.
We can go right here, see where it's flat. Whole rest of the way to come out back on the trail,
All right.
it's flat.
Okay.
Just a little inch.
Just got to carve around.
Yeah, okay.
Watch your step there.
Yeah, I will.
It's soft. I know that.
It's a little tricky here, but this is the only really.
Yeah.
See, now, you can keep going, but you can get through here.
Yeah.
And I found that. I said, hey, I can get through up here, but I never tried to go the other way. So, I can get through here. But this is the way I see the other thing. No, I've done enough walking in the woods. I'm not helpless.
Oh, I know that.
Even though I'm 81 years old.
No, I just know that when you see moss and you step on it, it will slip.
Well, I can go down pretty easy.
Yeah.
Anybody.
It's this stuff that people try to walk on that, you know. Try climbing up this here. That right there would just go like that.
You know,
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
knows anything about the woods,
Yeah, I know.
there's a lot of ignorant people there that know nothing. It even looks like a little path here. We go around here and you'll be right on flat ground the rest of the way. The paths keep going down.
If it wasn't for Micah, mine would be too. Micah
What?
gave me that belt.
Yeah.
It's a really nice,
You know,
really love. I mean, that's a nice belt. It's like an $80 belt.
the Amish have the right idea. Suspenders.
Yeah.
You didn't see anybody's pants falling down when they had those on.
No.
Belts? Yeah, all the time. Well, somebody's always pulling on the pants to get them back up.
It's hard to get those nowadays.
Oh, you can buy them.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's kind of.
You know, it's funny how styles or fads are set.
Yeah.
If you had say you could get a half dozen people, men, to wear suspenders in a certain area, it wouldn't be very long before you'll find a couple more, and then a couple more,
Yeah.
then a couple more, and pretty soon you see a lot of guys start wearing suspenders. It's just starting.
Well, it's kind of like living in a group home. You shave, everybody else is going to shave. Everybody will wear beards, but you be the first one to shave, everyone will cut theirs off.
People are too followers, you know?
Yeah.
It's just their nature.
Well, it's like monkey see, monkey do, but yeah.
But if you're a good sheep, you pick the right shepherd.
Yeah.
A lot of false shepherds. Now, this little creek right here, we walk over that on one of those bridges down there.
Okay.
Now, I kind of went till I hit the trail again. So we can walk right along there and actually come out further down the trail.
Okay.
Go see how it works. Oh, what I was going to tell you about fossils, of all the fossils, any fossils are like, they have found identical fossils. They never found identical shells.
Yeah.
Seashells never have found identical. But they have found fossils in one part of the world or that part of the world. And you know what they find out? No matter where they find, nothing's changed. That fossil, they might have found 3,000 miles away up in the cliffs.
Yeah.
And this one totally matches it. And they found this in a desert in Arizona. Perfectly the same
Well,
fossil.
you take the moon, and you know when there's eclipse, how it blocks out the sun.
Yeah.
That is because the moon is perfectly sized, to the exact millimeter to block out the sun. If it was any bigger or smaller, it wouldn't work. Wouldn't block out the sun. So what happens is it's like a grounds for intelligent design that the moon is specifically designed to do that with the sun.
Yeah,
It's like somebody invented it.
and it's also designed to control all the oceans.
Yeah.
The
Tides and everything would not be.
And it has to be this exact, and it's also designed to pick up all kinds of meteors heading for the Earth.
Yeah.
It attracts them, and they hit the moon rather than the Earth. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. But anyway, the reason I said that about the fossils, because they've never found any two. They're always the same,
Yeah.
no matter where in the world they find them. So, the only way that evolutionists see true science goes by facts,
Yeah.
and then you get out of that into theory.
Yeah.
And so the scientists that don't want to believe in creation, they say, well, that's right, but you know, over millions and millions and millions of years, these fossils changed.
Well, you know what they said now publicly is that no fossil on Earth wasn't flashed. I mean, it's like when the fossil formed, it was like an instant, not over millions of years. They may be millions of years old, but when they were created, it was instantaneous.
Well, yeah, and Ken Hovind, what they found is they found rocks.
Yeah.
And they broke them open, and they have a signature.
Right.
You may have heard this, and I think you're talking about the same thing. They had a signature inside the rock. They didn't know it. And that signature told how this rock was formed.
Yeah.
And the signature, it's colored inside. Ken Hovind talks about that.
Well, the thing is, they have fossilized jellyfish, and jellyfish rot in two days.
Yeah.
So how do you have fossilized jellyfish when that wouldn't last 2 days in the ocean? It was dead.
Anyway, they found out by finding these rocks. Now, these are true scientists, that according to the signs that they could read, the colors and things in the rock, they study these. These are true scientists. That this thing happened in a couple minutes time.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, all of them.
Couple minutes.
All of them, and they're all in groups too.
Everything was formed.
You know, there's not just one fossil. When you find one, there's many, and that means it all happened in an instant.
Well, what it is science. So Paul, we know Paul. Have you ever heard Paul talk about science? He says, so-called science.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible. You know, they act like truth finders and fact finders, but they aren't. They're just people that are trying to prove something, and they'll twist anything to prove it. But anyway, science, if they're atheists, they can't admit anything that might point there's God. So they changed everything to try to steer away from that. I told you what Nate Lyons told me.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the right way.
Yeah.
Eventually we're going to hit the path.
Right.
Because I think we crossed one of these streams. I think. Now, I didn't go this way last time I went.
Well, this is the stream that we crossed coming in.
Yeah.
So if we follow that, we'll end up where we were.
We'll end up there. It's in the biggest way. But anyway, I lost my thought.
You're talking about Nate Lyons was saying.
Oh, yeah. There was a brilliant, like an Einstein. There was a brilliant young scientist who's known worldwide. He's just brilliant. And he is so good that scientists recognize how much this man knows. They don't understand how he can know so much. But people, they had a big worldwide meeting, 200 scientists, and he was the guest speaker. Well, and they're just amazed at how this young man can know what he knows. But anyway, now the word God is forbidden. That's a no-no word. Don't ever say that when you're talking. You talk about creation there, but never say God. That's a hideous crime. Well, he knew it. He knew it. But he said he'd tell them all kinds of things about the creation and this and that. They were all they were fascinated on the things he knew. He said, now, he says, to end my talk, he says, you remember when we were, everybody agrees the universe is expanding?
Yeah.
But I remember, you all remember how they show it. They take a balloon, they blow it up, and they put tape, pennies or something on it, scotch tape, and then and the balloon expands and expands, and they say, this is what the universe is doing. It just keeps expanding.
Yeah.
He said, but, he says, this is where he got it. We spend so much time on trying to analyze about the balloon and the universe, our pennies expanding. How's come nobody ever says anything about the man blowing up the balloon? Nate said, you could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah.
You're afraid he's going to use that word.
God?
But he didn't have to. He didn't have to say God.
No.
He says nobody takes any time to understand about the man blowing up the balloon. And that's all he said, and he sat down. And they all went,
Yeah, that was...
bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I know.
Looking right in their face at the face of God. And it scares them to death. Why? Because they're coming to the judgment. If you believe there's a God, then you believe you have to answer for this life and all the evil you did. And one day you're going to be judged for all you ever did, because you have to. There's a creator.
Well, the one thing that I did tell people that kind of makes them, feel like they're special and that God exists is that I told them about, the DNA sequence. You look at that and you try to determine the amount of possibilities that you can do with that sequence. Okay? And there's, the number is so high, you can't even register it with exponents. Exponents aren't good enough to do it because it's so high, the amount of combinations. So the people that could be born on Earth never will be. Majority of combinations that are out there for genetic code, that means that your genetic code, it ain't happening again. You know what I mean? It's not common.
Yeah.
So the exact copy of you would be impossible.
Yeah, that's the point.
So, because if you look at the fact that we exist, because there's more people that don't exist that do than do, because the amount of number of people that could exist is insane. You know what I mean? That's like a number beyond measure. The amount of possible combinations with our DNA to make a person, the different variations it could be. So the fact that you exist is a miracle, because most people that could exist will never exist.
No, it isn't random. God proves everything. It's all... Now, this is where your Calvinists messed up. They see the truth that God's all-knowing, and that before there was anything at all, he's in absolute control. He knows the end from the beginning. He's infinite. That's all true. But they used that, then they warped it and said, well, if everything's already done, why do we have to do nothing? It's already over. No, there was their fallacy. And basically, they
I think we can just cut over
are
there
thinking about doing that rather than keep doing this.
because I think the trail starts there because I think it's too thick back there. Just go.
Yeah, I think it is. We're
But,
gonna get in a lot of brush.
Have to wash this here.
That's why I can go over the
Yeah. Yeah, be careful. Woo. There it is. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, right here. That's the cutoff. So then we have to cut right here.
Why would you go through the Amazon with your machete trying to cut your own trail when you hear four-wheelers about 10 feet away from you going up and down the road?
Yeah.
You
I don't know.
Teddy Roosevelt was a real
Whew.
athlete.
Whew.
And you know he just about died in one of his trips.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. They were going into a place like the Amazon.
I don't know
They were going to find.
which spot to cut across that.
Oh, we're on the other side of the creek, aren't we?
Yeah.
See, that's where we kind of messed up.
We could
That was
probably.
my fault.
I think we can cut right there,
We'll figure something out.
but it might not even be that deep. I don't know.
But anyway, he and some other guys went to another country to find a legendary skull. And having things here, no white man had ever made it there to find it.
Ooh.
You all right?
Yeah, it's getting caught up in there for a minute.
You lose your all the
Yeah. Whew. I think we can cut right through here.
See, I should have. See, before I came up way up there and I didn't have.
Yeah, I think what it'll do is if you go over here, it'll go sloped into it. There's a slope over here, so if you cut through here the right way.
Well, the last time I didn't have to cross.
Yeah. Right here. Yeah. So if we walk on the edge here, right down here.
We might get a little wet too.
Yeah, but that's okay.
So be careful.
Yeah.
Seeing that mud is slippery.
Yeah.
And that's all wet.
All right. Whew.
And you're going to have wet feet.
Well, I got it. It's good here. I haven't got wet feet yet, but be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah,
Wait, your shoelaces are undone.
I know. I got caught in the brush there for a second.
You want me to hold your stuff before you get your... I just say this if we had cut to the left, we wouldn't even have to cross this. Rather than doing a little jump, if you look behind you, looks like it's behind you.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah. Be careful now, don't slip on this.
Yeah. There we go.
I think it'll be easier to cross it. Oh, anywhere in there.
Yeah.
On those rocks.
That's good here. I just make sure you get over. Ooh. You got it.
Yeah, now you can walk on those rocks and get across.
All right, just making sure you got it there.
Yeah, I should.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna, yeah.
Yeah. You might get a little wet.
Walk through that, yeah.
If you tried to jump there.
Your boots are waterproof, but
Yeah, they are. But no sense.
I'm trying
If
to.
you were in water all the
Time it would go
you
through.
would see how long your waterproofing lasts.
Yeah.
They're waterproof up to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Waterproof up to a certain amount of miles in water.
Yeah. Whew.
These are really good like
Yeah, they're thorough goods.
your mom bought me those
Yeah.
shoes. I never.
Yeah, I bought a pair of thorough goods there too.
I never bought anything there until your mom took me and wanted me to buy something for my birthday.
Yeah, there was a guy I worked with, I think. He was wearing them, and I said, "What are those?" He said, "Those are Thorogood boots, the best boots you can get." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." So then what happened is I got my stimulus check, and I went down and bought them at Buzzards.
Okay. Now, last time I came out, I was way up there.
Yeah. Well, it's worked out, no problem.
Mm.
As long as we didn't have to go further through briars, we'll be all right. Could you imagine trying to outrun the law? Oh, man.
I got some little sticky thing in there, and it's going to drive me nuts.
Okay.
How something gets in there, and a little thorn or something,
Yeah.
and you can feel it.
Every time you walk, it hurts, huh?
You can't see it.
Yeah.
It's still there. That has a tendency